Days of Our Lives. 2-week spoilers for December 19th, 2025 suggest Xander Cook is distraught and the return of Peter Blake. On Monday, December 8th, Jada Hunter and Theo Carver's date is interrupted. I wonder if he's going to get kidnapped because Abe Carver is worried and tells Paulina Price something is going on with Theo. When his phone call with his son gets scary, Abe hears a thump, and then it looks like the call drops. Theo is going to wake up in the crypt with Chad DiMera, Tony DiMera, and Kristen DiMera staring at him and telling him, "Welcome to the crypt crew." Kat Green interrogates E.J. DiMera. She drugged him and looks like she's going to ask some questions while his mind is all mushy. Kristen, Tony, and Chad are planning their escape. Lucky for them, Chad and Theo's absence is going to put pressure on the Salem PD to get a search party going. Good thing Jada is dating Theo because she will want to find her new man. Philip Kiriakis and Gabi Hernandez get more concerned. Theo going missing is going to amp up worries about Chad's whereabouts because this is a pattern that cannot be ignored. Tuesday, December 9th, we've got Javi Hernandez overhearing Rafe Hernandez. I wonder if it's about his investigation into EJ or the fact that Theo is now also missing. The DiMera crypt crew digs up some bones. Theo says that they are human. Gwen Rizchek says no to Leo Stark's suggestion. And I wonder if he's going to ask Gwen to be in his wedding. Susan Banks catches Kat and EJ close to kissing. Now, I do wonder if Kat's interrogating EJ and Susan walks in. And Kat acts like they're being romantic to try and throw off suspicion. I do wonder if Susan's psychic senses will tell her that Kat is entrapping her baby boy, Elvis Jr. Susan also spots Dr. Wilhelm Rolfe creeping out of the secret passages at the DiMera mansion, and she demands to know what in the tarnation he is doing there. Wednesday, December 10th, we've got Chanel Dupree worried, and Paulina is trying to reassure her. With Theo missing, Chanel and Paulina may be worried that Johnny DiMera is going to be the next DiMera to go missing. Alex Kiriakis surprises Stephanie Johnson. He may show up in Chicago on the book tour because Steve Johnson's analysis about the person sending this fan mail has Alex very worried for Stephanie's safety. And of course, they're going to try and blame Jeremy Horton. Brady Black and Sarah Horton spend time commiserating. She's feeling really bad for Rachel Black because reading about the kidnapping was part of what set Rachel off. Brady's going to share his updates. He's going to be living under the same roof as Sarah, which, of course, is going to rub Xander the wrong way because he's already jealous. Rachel falls under Sophia Choi's influence more deeply. The older girl may have Rachel get up to no good where Tate Black is concerned, or help her scheme to get the kid away from Johnny. Tate tells Holly Jonas his dilemma, and it may be about his crappy grades, or he may keep those secret and just stress out to her about Rachel being at Bayview, and especially her being close to Sophia. Thursday, December 11th, we've got Johnny and Chanel very uneasy about extra precautions that are being taken. This may be down to the fact that EJ is going missing this week as well. So, that's going to put Johnny on the Salem PD's radar as a potential victim. There are not too many DiMeras left on the loose at this point in Salem. They're just being snatched up one after the other. Somebody's playing Pokemon and trying to catch them all. Brady and Sarah's spark will have some kisses between them soon, but of course, her heart still belongs to Xander. But Brady is going to get attached to Sarah and kind of fixated and crushing on her. I think part of that's because the rest of his life is falling apart. Rafe and Jada team up and look for answers. I think they're also going to be looking for the DiMeras with the FBI and the local Salem PD working together. Hopefully, the crypt crew is found soon. Javi gets an earful from Gabi, and she has to defend herself. I wonder if he's worried about her and Philip, or it may be about Ari's reluctance to accept Leo into the family. Javi may blame Gabi for Ari disliking him, but realistically, she knew about the stuff that Leo did to Sonny Kiriakis and Will Horton. That report didn't strictly come from Gabi. That's known information that a lot of people have around Salem. And it's no fault of Gabi's that Leo was a villain. Also, Xander is leaning on Teresa Donovan. She may do a little leaning back because she's upset too. Xander opens up about his feelings and signing the divorce papers with Sarah. I wonder if he's going to vent about Brady, who of course is also mad at Teresa. Friday, December 12th, we've got Alex and Stephanie planning for their future. We know that Alex is going to propose to Stephanie soon. Chad tells Theo his fears. Obviously, he's worried about losing custody of his kids because he knows he missed the hearing. Chad's probably assuming that Jennifer Horton took full advantage of his unwilling absence, but surprisingly, she didn't do that. I was expecting her to. Rafe gives Kat a warning, and he may think she's getting too close to EJ in the investigation, or that Kat is playing fast and loose and taking too many risks. EJ upsets Gwen when he tells her that he's going to take care of Leo himself if she can't do it. EJ goes missing soon too, so that should buy Leo a little time. Maggie Horton Kyriakis upsets Jeremy. We may have Maggie asking Jeremy or accusing Jeremy of sending that stalker mail to Stephanie because Alex may say something to Holly about Jeremy being his top suspect, and she may pass this on to Maggie. We'll see because Jeremy snaps at Maggie for thinking the worst of him on Days of Our Lives. The week of December 15th through the 19th, we've got Rafe and Jada locating the crypt crew. Kat may lend a hand, but she can't take any credit because it would blow her ISA cover. Rafe is going to send off those crypt bones, and a positive ID comes back. Sophia is plotting with Rachel, and she may be tricking the younger girl into helping her make some mischief. EJ is going to be showing off the test tube person soon to Gwen, and then later to Paulina, who is completely shocked. Alex soon opens a letter addressed to him, and some powdery substance flies out of it, and everybody panics, thinking it might be a biological weapon. With Owen Kent's connection to the DiMeras, because we know he's the culprit, not Jeremy, he may have contacts to get anthrax or something horrible like that. Or it could just be powdered sugar or flour, and just intended to scare the crap out of them. But since he's tried to kill Alex before at the Pumpkin Chunkin', I would think it might be something serious. At first, of course, everybody's going to blame Jeremy, and he's getting really sick of this. On Friday the 19th, we have Peter Blake back on the canvas. Our leaker said he's the kidnapper, the one who snatched the other DiMeras. So, we'll learn more about his agenda. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Tuesday, December 9th, reveal that Susan Banks will face a double shocker while the DiMera hostages discover human bones. There'll be some wild stuff happening on the DiMera property, so here's what Duel fans can expect. For starters, Susan will be stunned to find Kat Green and EJ DiMera in a compromising situation. Once Susan interrupts, she'll no doubt have a few questions about EJ and Kat's connection. Days spoilers say Susan will also catch a glimpse of Dr. Wilhelm Rolfe coming out of the DiMera tunnels, so that'll give her a shock too. Dr. Rolfe will get grilled, but he may be cagey about what he's really doing there. Over with Gwen von Lochner, she'll react to a suggestion from Leo Stark. Leo will make a pitch that Gwen disagrees with, so she'll do her best to shut it down on Tuesday's Duel episode. Other Days spoilers say Javi Hernandez will eavesdrop on a troubling conversation. Rafe Hernandez will probably be on the phone discussing all the DiMera kidnappings, so Javi may worry Johnny DiMera could be in danger. Of course, that could put Trey DiMera in danger as well, so Javi will have good reasons to be concerned. Rafe may assure Javi that Johnny and his family are getting protection, but Javi will remain on edge. In the crypt, Days spoilers say Theo Carver, Chad DiMera, Kristen DiMera, and Tony DiMera will make an alarming discovery. There'll be some unidentified human bones, so the four of them will mull over who died and got stashed in the crypt without their knowledge. Tony, Kristen, Chad, and Theo will all toss some theories around, but they'll have no way to know anything for sure without proper lab testing. Days of Our Lives spoilers say those bones will kick off a new mystery, so stick with us for updates on any other major DiMera news. CDL will have other exciting Days of Our Lives spoilers, news, and updates to check out, so pop back in soon for more details. The previous episode of Days of Our Lives saw Jada's date night with Theo being interrupted. On the other hand, Gabby and Philip grew concerned. Up next, Kat questioned EJ. Paulina comforted Abe after Theo went missing. And then lastly, Chad, Kristen, and Tony debated over their escape options. The drama, the secrets, the danger, the plotting, the worry, the tension, and the friction are about to explode in the coming weeks. Here's what fans can expect from the December 9th, 2025 episode of Days of Our Lives when they tune into Peacock to stream the hit daytime drama set in Salem, Illinois. The episode on Tuesday features Javi overhearing Rafe. What exactly has he shared, and how will this change things? Will Javi have some questions? Will Rafe give him some answers, or try to beat around the bush? Up next, Susan catches EJ and Kat in a compromising position. What will it lead to? Kat and EJ have been spending a lot of time together lately, and this has led to some tension between them. But the truth remains that this is just a ploy for Kat to expose him. She drugged him to search his home, and now it seems they are taking a step ahead by indulging in a passionate kiss. And it seems that is when EJ's mother, Susan, walks in on them. How will she react to seeing them kissing? Especially since Kat's previous romance with EJ's brother Chad is well known. Is this also another ploy by Kat to get intel and dirt on EJ? On the other hand, Gwen rejects Leo's suggestion. What could this be about? Is this about Leo and Javi's upcoming wedding? Are the former friends going to continue having friction over what happened with Dimitri? Is her rejection about the wedding or something else instead? And then lastly, the Dimera captives make a bone-chilling discovery. 4 of the Dimeras are now captive in the crypt. Tony started the chain, which was followed by Kristen, Chad, and now Theo. They are clueless about who is kidnapping and leaving them here. The group is trying to find a way out. But will they be able to find an escape? Especially with a shocking discovery finding them? Will they band together to find a way out of this mess? Or will they get bigger answers before they can formulate a plot to get the hell out of the crypt? Is EJ behind these abductions? Stay tuned to know the details. Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for the week of November 24th. Tease a tense stretch in Salem as old legends and new threats collide. Belle and Chad explore a fresh romantic spark, just as a mysterious stalker tightens the net around Stephanie and Alex. Meanwhile, hints of another Stefano-linked plot raise questions about how far the Dimera legacy will reach this time. The long-running Peacock soap is already renewed for future seasons, so the writers have room to build another long game arc around the Dimeras. Fans can expect romance, suspense, and a possible resurrection twist, all packed into Thanksgiving week episodes. The latest spoilers suggest big moves that will shape several major families at once. Belle Brady and Chad Dimera are set to act on their Salem singles match at last. Spoilers say the former almost couple will likely agree to a low-pressure date, testing whether their old spark can turn into something real. Their possible reunion comes as Chad tries to show he is moving on from his heartbreak with Kat Green. That timing matters, because Jennifer Horton Devereaux is still weighing whether to take Thomas and Charlotte to Boston. Even if Chad proves he is ready for a new chapter, Jennifer may not change her mind. The question for viewers is whether a new romance with Belle can keep his family rooted in Salem, or if he faces another painful loss. Elsewhere, Kat continues to piece together her past with EJ Dimera. She remembers reading Wuthering Heights to a bandaged man in a coma, while Sammy Brady watched over him. Andrew Donovan has confirmed that Kat and EJ once recovered at the same Italian clinic, and EJ is now starting to recognize Kat's voice from his own foggy memories. As Kat and EJ compare notes, the pieces of a larger Dimera puzzle start to move. EJ is also overseeing the next phase of a secret project involving a crate sent to a shady hospital wing. Dimitri von Lochner's name keeps surfacing, raising speculation that he could be tied to a plan to revive Stefano's influence, if not his actual memories. Gabby Hernandez and Philip Kyriakis add a lighter but risky note to the week. During trivia night at the pub, Philip turns on the charm and Gabby lets herself fall deeper into the budding romance. What Philip does not know is that Gabby is secretly working with Tony Dimera to destroy the Titan-Dimera merger, and that truth is a time bomb for both her love life and her business standing. Steve and Kayla Johnson, meanwhile, enjoy some rare romantic quiet. They have no idea that Stephanie's stalker is closing in on her and Alex Kyriakis. The show has teased Jeremy Horton as an obvious suspect, but the stalker's face remains hidden, suggesting a more surprising reveal down the line. Stephanie's upcoming book tour could put her directly in the danger zone. These Days of Our Lives spoilers reflect what the series has done for decades. The show blends romance, family conflict, and out there plots like mind control chips and demonic possession, as NBC and other outlets have often highlighted. This new arc leans into that tradition by tying a modern dating app story and a stalker thriller to the long shadow of Stefano DiMera. For viewers, the Belle and Chad story taps into familiar emotional ground. Both characters have lost a lot over the years, so a slow-burn romance lets fans hope for some happiness amid the chaos. At the same time, the threat to Stephanie and Alex keeps tension high, reminding the audience that no relationship in Salem is truly safe. The possible Stefano connection matters on a bigger level. Recent coverage has noted how Peacock has renewed Days of Our Lives for more seasons, giving the writers room to plan multi-year arcs. Tying Dimitri, EJ, and Gwen into a new resurrection-style plot signals that the DiMeras will stay central to the canvas for a long time. Business drama around Titan and the DiMera Empire also carries real stakes. Gabby's secret deal with Tony could cost her Philip's trust and her corporate power in one blow. The fallout from that betrayal could ripple through the Kyriakis and DiMera families, setting up new alliances and rivalries as the show heads into its next seasons. As the week of November 24th unfolds, Days of Our Lives spoilers point to a Salem on the edge. A stalker circles Stephanie, Belle, and Chad, test their chemistry, and a crate tied to Stefano's legacy raises fresh questions. Longtime fans and new Peacock viewers alike will want to watch closely as the next chapter of the DiMera saga begins. I can't stand this DiMera kidnapping story. I've always loved Days of Our Lives because it mixed groundbreaking, realistic stories with family drama. But those days are over, at least for now. Days of Our Lives during the week of 12/08/25 will kick the disappearing DiMera storyline into higher gear, but it's clear this isn't anywhere near over yet. I knew Theo would be the next to disappear after he wandered off to answer Abe's call. Gabby noticed he'd been gone a while, and Days of Our Lives spoilers for the week of 12/08/25 show Abe getting a weird phone call and Theo waking up in the crypt. Kidnapping Theo doesn't seem like a great idea, especially after EJ notified the police about Chad's disappearance. Now that every DiMera currently in Salem has vanished, it's obvious that these disappearances are all connected. Of course, the police in Salem are a joke, so the cops will probably assume these are all isolated incidents, or that EJ is responsible because he's the only one still standing and not do much to find anyone. Still, how many times can a kidnapper knock someone out without anyone noticing? The only one of these kidnappings that makes sense, from a not getting caught perspective, is Kristen. Since she was in jail with a motive for breaking out, Theo is the worst idea because he doesn't have any reason to disappear, and he just took over as CEO of the company. Plus, his dad is the former police commissioner and mayor, and his stepmom is the current mayor. So far, this story seems like an inferior version of the Malawan story in the 1990s, where many long-standing residents of Salem were killed in bizarre ways, only for it to be revealed that the deaths were faked and the residents were transported to an island that was set up to look just like Salem. Andre DiMera was behind that weird plan, so it wouldn't surprise me if he were involved again. Except that this kidnapping story is so much more pointless that it seems beneath him. That would be more shocking if they were being held anywhere. But the final resting place of dead DiMeras, bones/a body in a crypt, is sort of expected, though I guess people are not supposed to be buried under the floorboards. Where exactly is this leading? Does Rolf need blood and tissue from every living DiMera to resurrect the skeleton they're about to find? He is in the tunnels this week, coming up at the wrong time and startling Susan, so it's possible. I feel as if Days of Our Lives has jumped tracks and is telling a different story than the one they started with, but I'm sure there's some bizarre connection between the high-tech lab and the crypt-turned-makeshift prison. Whatever it is, I just hope it's worthwhile, and that it doesn't lead to a Stefano resurrection. I know Stefano is supposed to be the Phoenix, but Joe Mascalo is no longer with us, and his last appearance was disrespectful enough. Despite persistent rumors that this is what all the subterfuge is about, I think the writers will surprise us. We know that Peter Blake is returning on December 18th, so he's probably involved in this story. He was obsessed with Jennifer earlier in life, but whatever's going on has nothing to do with her, at least not at this point. although her insistence on taking Chad's kids away is not helping anything. I think this was supposed to be a red herring in the kidnapping story. The victims were drugged, so some viewers will spend the weekend wondering if Kat is behind it. It's highly unlikely that she is, since she got the drugs from Andrew, unless the ISA is behind these kidnappings for some reason. That's possible, I suppose, but it's more likely that Kat's actions are about making EJ vulnerable enough that he'll tell the ISA anything he knows about the secret lab, the disappearances, or whatever else they want to know. He hasn't had enough to do lately, and helping search for his missing son will be more interesting than all the yelling he's been doing about how Theo shouldn't work for Dimera Enterprises. Of course, once Theo is found, Abe has even more reason to feel that way, but for now, at least we get a break from that. According to Days of Our Lives spoilers for the week of 12/08/25, Johnny and Chanel will get fed up with extra precautions. Most likely, there will be extra security around Johnny. He may have to come back early from his Chicago trip so that no one can do anything to him while he's away, though I'm not sure extra protection in Salem will do him much good, all things considered. In any case, the extra security will probably make things more difficult for Johnny and Chanel with the baby, leading to more frustration for them. It might also inadvertently mess up Sophia's plans, since no one will be able to get to the baby while the couple is under guard. She's not generally one of my favorite characters, but right now she's needed in this Bayview storyline. Her arrival at Bayview would cause chaos even if Sophia wasn't messing with Rachel. But with the situation being what it is, I want Kristen to find Sophia in her daughter's room and put a stop to her manipulations. Kristen will see through Sophia instantly and make it clear, in only the completely unhinged way Kristen can, that Sophia is to leave her daughter alone and not even think about defying this order when Kristen isn't around. A Kristen-Sophia face-off will be pure fun, and Kristen will win. Let's go already! There's also some nonsense with Alex surprising Stephanie and Maggie making Jeremy feel she's not on his side. But forget that. What do you think of these more interesting Days of Our Lives spoilers for the week of 12/08/25? Sound off in the comments, and don't forget to share this article with your friends so they can join the conversation. Vote in our poll below for your favorite spoiler. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Tuesday, December 9th. Reveal Susan Banks is about to make things awkward. Meanwhile, the missing Dimeras are in for a shock. Plus, did Rafe Hernandez just make a huge mistake? Here's what you need to know. First, Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal a possibly embarrassing moment ahead. It seems EJ Dimera and Kat Green are caught by Susan. We assume this is going to be a moment of awkward timing where Susan walks in on a kiss. We did see the start of that in a promo after all, and we're sure Susan is going to have plenty to say about this. Well, maybe. She has been pretty off lately. As for that moment, Kat is obviously trying to get EJ's guard down so she can get the dirt on what he's up to. And it's possible Susan will sense something off in the pair because of that. We'll see if Kat's cover is in danger. Elsewhere, the Dimeras are shocked by what they discover in the crypt. Going by a recent promo, this is where they'll find the bone that will eventually get tested and identified. We thought it was going to be Kristen's mother, but that theory was blown when we learned she was recently questioned and was alive and well. We imagine there are a ton of possibilities for who the bone belongs to, just as there are a ton of possibilities for who is responsible for the dead body. So, we're looking forward to seeing how that all plays out. If the pacing keeps up, we might not have to wait too long to find out. Finally, Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal it might have finally happened. We've been saying for a while now that Rafe and Kat are getting sloppy in their interactions. They don't always use the code names, and they're not exactly being very stealthy about meeting up sometimes. So, it feels inevitable that Javi Hernandez hears something Rafe might prefer he didn't. Since they now have 2 more missing Dimeras to deal with, and Kat just got evidence of someone sleeping in the not-so-secret room, we assume Javi hears Rafe talking to Kat about their investigation. At the very least, we assume he'll hear Kat's name. The mystery in Salem continues to escalate as the ongoing string of Dimera kidnappings takes another dramatic turn on the Peacock soap opera, Days of Our Lives. The official Days of Our Lives YouTube channel released a new promo previewing episodes airing the week of December 8th, 2025. The promo opens up with a seemingly intimate moment between E.J. DiMera and Kat Green. Another scene features Abe calling his son, "Theo," he asks, while Paulina tidies a room with a baby, who appears to be Trey, crying in the background. The promo then shows Theo waking up inside the DiMera crypt, asking Kristen, Tony, and Chad, "What's going on?" Inside the DiMera mansion, Susan watches Dr. Rolfe emerge for the DiMera hidden tunnels. "Dr. Rolfe, what in the tarnation are you doing here?" she asks. Elsewhere, Jeremy confronts Maggie in Horton Town Square. "I thought you had my back. Turns out you think the worst of me, just like everybody else." The teaser ends with the DiMera crypt door opening once again as an unidentified person is placed on the ground, adding another layer to the mystery. Fans quickly jumped into the YouTube comments to react to the new footage. One user was frustrated and shared, "This is getting a bit over the top. Every DiMera kidnapped? Maybe Kat is behind it. If Peter Blake comes back, it would be meaningless. It would be a different actor, which ruins it totally. I still can't associate the new Gabby with her predecessor. They are nothing alike. So who is in the tube?" A second user shared, "I'm ready for that new episode Days of Our Lives on Monday, feel happy." While a third simply added, "Family reunion in the DiMera crypt, folks." In the Wednesday, December 10th episode of Days of Our Lives, teasers preview that Alex has a surprise for Stephanie. Paulina attempts to stop Chanel from worrying. Tate shares his problems with Holly. Brady and Sarah find common ground in their problems, and Sophia manipulates Rachel. Check out this spoilers gallery for a sneak peek at some of the drama and excitement coming up in this episode of Days. Stephanie, Abigail Klein, is alone in her Chicago hotel room, and clearly, recent events have her more than a little jumpy. What did she hear that has her brandishing a letter opener in self-defense? Turns out there was someone in the hall, but thankfully, it's just Alex, Robert Scott Wilson, surprising Stephanie by joining her on her book tour. So both of them get quite the surprise as Stephanie goes to attack the intruder and sees that it's just her boyfriend. Given that she has a stalker, Alex probably wants to tag along to keep her safe, but it looks like she can take care of herself. Once the scare is over, Stephanie and Alex hit the sheets, happy to be together again. But her stalker is still out there somewhere, just waiting to make their next move. Is Chanel, Raven Bowens, worried about her new son Trey? Or might she be worried that Johnny could be the next DiMera to disappear? Either way, Paulina, Jackie Harry, has her work cut out for her trying to reassure her daughter everything is going to be okay. From the orderly's perspective, that could just be a pile of pillows under the blanket, but that's actually still Rachel, Alice Halsey, in her bed. And there's a good reason why the girl's so wrapped up. Turns out, Rachel was fully dressed under there, and as soon as she has the opportunity, she carefully slips out of her hospital room, careful not to be seen. And soon enough, Rachel is in Sophia's Rachel Boyd room, spending time with her new friend, who even has hamburgers for them to enjoy. Rachel is supposed to be in this facility to get better after making 2 attempts to kill people, but will allying herself with Sophia just make her worse? Holly, Ashley Puzemis, and Sarah, Lindsay Godfrey, are enjoying a nice chat. Might the young woman be looking for some advice from her aunt? Tate, Leo Howard, has been struggling with his sister Rachel and his ex, Sophia, both being in the same mental hospital. Thankfully, he's got a sympathetic shoulder to lean on in Holly. Looks like Holly knows just the thing to take Tate's mind off his troubles as the two heat things up and hit the sheets. Viewers are in for some major Salem drama in this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives. Buckle up for shocking discoveries, kidnappings, and twists as some legendary characters make their return, while others prepare to exit the NBC soap opera. Here's the scoop on who's leaving and coming to Days of Our Lives from December 8th to December 12th, 2025. Dr. Wilhelm Rolfe resurfaces this week, sinister plans brewing in his mind. Fans will see him scheming his next move in E.J. DiMera's lab. The mad scientist will be seen sharing scenes with Susan Banks. In the meantime, fan favorite Tony DiMera's plotline for this week will have Salem on edge with his kidnapping drama. Fans, however, are eagerly waiting for Peter Blake, Kristen's long-lost brother, to return to Days of Our Lives after 27 long years in the following week. Apart from those mentioned above, there are no new additions to the cast of Days of Our Lives for the second week of December. As for departures, there are no confirmed exits from Days of Our Lives this specific week. However, besides the exits and returns, here's what's happening in the lives of the existing dual characters. Stacey Haydock plays double duty, juggling Susan Banks' sass and Kristen DiMera's schemes. Sophia pulls young, impressionable Rachel Black into her orbit. Additionally, E.J. DiMera's kidnapping promises to keep viewers on the edge about his fate. Viewers can catch the latest episodes of Days of Our Lives on Peacock. Furthermore, one can also stream select seasons on Amazon Prime Video. Days of Our Lives moved from its traditional NBC broadcast to becoming a streaming-only show on September 12, 2022. What happens in Salem, December 8-12, 2025. Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for the week of December 8-12, 25. Promise abductions in the DiMera crypt, messy romance, and a mother's intuition firing on all cylinders. The week opens with Jada's date night with Theo going sideways and closes with tough decisions that rattle Salem. DiMera's in peril. The crypt, the captives, and the next target, Chad, Tony, and Kristen, are trapped together and actively plotting an escape, a situation that points to a bone-chilling discovery before the week's end. Theo is the next name whispered as a possible captive, keeping Abe and Paulina on edge. Susan, meanwhile, zeroes in on her. Salem is once again buzzing with near misses, overheard secrets, and an unsettling discovery that deepens the mystery surrounding the DiMera captives. From an almost romantic moment gone wrong to a conversation that was never meant to be heard, the drama unfolds on multiple fronts, with consequences that may not stay hidden for long. EJ and Kat have been spending far more time together than expected, slowly drifting into dangerous territory. Their recent interactions include shared drinks, lingering glances, and a growing closeness that suggests something more may be developing between them. However, their connection isn't exactly simple. Kat previously used EJ for her own purposes, drugging him so she could search the DiMera mansion for clues related to Chad's sudden disappearance. Despite that messy history, sparks continue to fly. In the latest moments, teased, EJ and Kat are visibly close, with tension high as they lean toward what looks like a kiss. Just when it seems like they might cross that line, fate steps in. Susan unexpectedly walks in and catches them in an extremely awkward and compromising situation, instantly bringing everything to a halt. Salem timing strikes again, leaving EJ and Kat exposed and stunned. Elsewhere, a conversation involving Rafe doesn't stay as quiet as intended. Javi ends up overhearing something that was clearly not meant for his ears. In Salem, privacy rarely lasts long, and this situation proves no different. What exactly Javi hears remains unclear, but the stakes are high. Rafe has reasons to be guarded, and the possibility that a sensitive detail may slip out is far from reassuring. Whether it's a minor slip or a major revelation, the moment places Rafe in a risky position, especially if the wrong words were caught. Over in another corner of Salem, Gwen firmly shuts down Leo's newest proposal. Leo is never short on ideas, and his suggestions tend to arrive one after another. With his recent engagement to Javi already in place, it's possible his pitch involves wedding plans, but nothing is confirmed. Whatever the suggestion may be, Gwen clearly isn't on board. The rejection adds tension and raises questions about what Leo was hoping to push forward and why it didn't land. On a darker note, the captives held within the DiMera crypt face something deeply unsettling. Theo, Tony, Kristen, and Chad are all trapped together, forming an unwanted family reunion under grim circumstances. As they attempt to understand who abducted them and why, they stumble upon a chilling discovery that sends alarm through the group. Days of Our Lives spoilers suggest that Stefan DiMera should return to the show. Gabby Hernandez still believes that Stefan willingly left her after she slept with his brother, EJ DiMera. Duel fans know Stefan was about to call off the divorce before he was kidnapped by Vivian Alamian's henchman, Ivan Marias, and shipped off to Alemania. EJ had mentioned a few months ago that Stefan sent him a get-well-soon card after he was shot. Stefan sending EJ well wishes seems about as likely as Stefano Demera coming back from the dead as a priest. Stefan and EJ were never close, especially after EJ had sex with Gabby. Nothing much has been mentioned about Stefan since. Gabby's recent relationships haven't exactly been epic love stories. Gabby and JJ Devereaux bored us to tears. Now, she's dating Philip Kyriakis. While Gabby and Philip have their moments, they still seem like a mismatch to us. Plus, when the truth comes out that Gabby bugged Xander Kyriakis' office to extract information for Tony Demera to use against Titan, we can't imagine Philip will be too thrilled to find out that Gabby betrayed him and his brother. We have to wonder if Philip discovers what Gabby did, if he'll tell Xander. That said, it would bring a welcome twist to the storyline if Gabby somehow learned that Vivian had kidnapped Stefan before he had the chance to sign the divorce papers. In fact, Vivian was the one who forged Stefan's signature on them. Not only that, but she went as far as to write a Dear John letter to Gabby, pretending to be Stefan. In the letter, Stefan claimed that he couldn't get past Gabby sleeping with his brother. He said that their marriage was over for good. Gabby had no idea that Stefan was about to declare his love to his estranged wife before he suddenly disappeared. What's truly missing between Gabby and Philip is the kind of explosive chemistry that Stefan and Gabby had. However, we're unsure whether Brandon Barash would be willing to return to the soap after Duel burned him not once but twice. The show may need to recast him, but there is no predicting if Stabby would work with a new Stefan. Yet, Cher Jimenez assumed the role of Gabi from Camila Banus, and she and Barash had undeniable chemistry and fire. Plus, with everything that's going on with the Demera family right now, it would be a mistake not to include Stefan in the mix. The Demera family isn't complete without him.